don't look at the camera, look happy. Don't run.
I'm done?
Yes.
So, if y'all don't get this shot and stop playing and save a life, I got the best nurse in the world, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes. And just because of who you are and your stature, you gotta let people know.
Yep.
Okay, so we're back, and I'm a little emotional. And it's just okay to, so the nurse, that wonderful nurse, who vaccinated me, lost, I think, 14 people to COVID-19. And, wow. And so what I just want to say as a Black woman in the United States of America is, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, the atrocities, the horrific, awful experimentation that has taken place in this country on us. Like, I can't negate that. Like, let's not overlook that. Let's not do that. J. Marion Sims was a gynecologist, if you will. He's the father of modern gynecology, and the horrific experiments that he performed on enslaved African women with no anesthesia. We can go on. It birthed the Tuskegee experiment. Henrietta Lacks. Yes, we have a lot to say, but this is what I will say. And in no way, shape, or form is this video sponsored by anyone other than me. But as a woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the first African-American sorority, which started in 1908. In 1934, a sorority member, Ida L. Jackson, her brainchild was the Mississippi Health Project. She was supposed to go to Mississippi. She's a native of Mississippi, but she was supposed to go there from Oakland, California to teach. But when she got there, she found that people were malnourished, and they were infected with diseases, all things that we had vaccinations for. So she began the Mississippi Health Project along with other sorority members. And until 1941, when the project concluded, they vaccinated and helped feed and educate 15,000 Mississippians. And at that time, due to Jim Crow, they weren't allowed to ride on the cars, so they drove. Like, listen to me. So I get it, but what I'm saying is we have to make a difference. There are so many African Americans, so many humans, period, but just dying from this virus. Like, her pastor's mom just died yesterday. Her boyfriend was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and like me, he doesn't get flu shots. She said she contracted COVID too, and it's the worst thing that she had ever experienced. She said she wouldn't wish not being able to breathe on anyone. Just sitting with people as I do to hear these horror stories, and so many people that I work with, because we get tested weekly, have to go home because they contracted this virus. I'm not like the big, let's jump on vaccines. I'm not that person. I'm just not that person. But, in taking into consideration my history in this country and the history that we are currently making, I have to make a difference. I have to do my due diligence. There are too many people in the world that I am and will be responsible for. Like, the legacy that I'm leaving behind, and I'm not going nowhere yet, but it's not one that's going to be from fear and contraction and being afraid and being a conspiracy theorist. Even though, time out, many of the things that we call conspiracies are true. Like, these things actually did happen, and they do need to be acknowledged. And so I'm never not going to talk about it. It's not a conspiracy. It's the truth. And it's just okay to talk about that. It's just okay to bring that into the room. So again, while I do understand what our fears are and what our fears have been, I just know that I have to do my part as a citizen of the world. I had international plans 2020, and I have international plans for the rest of my life. Like, I won't have several seats and just be in a house afraid of people. My love language is physical touch. And it's not necessarily in a romantic way, I mean, but I'm saying. And so I touch everything. I touch everybody. When I'm with the cashier, we exchange, like I touch her or I touch him. I do that. Like it's kind of like how I know I'm alive. When I teach dance, like I've been teaching dance since I'm 15 years old. I've been in dance school since I'm 4 years old. I cannot not touch dancers. Like you're correcting feet or, I don't even think I've ever choreographed a piece, and I don't even know how many pieces on the planet Earth that I've choreographed. Tens of thousands probably, but I've never choreographed something wherein I'm not touching one of the other dancers. That's just, and so to come up, to be in a time period wherein I'm supposed to be afraid to touch people, that's gonna be detrimental, the effects of this in a lot of different ways, especially for little kids who are being born now. And the message from society is to be afraid. Don't touch people, don't spend time with people, don't visit people, stand, at least 6 feet away. So these are, and wash your hands frequently, right? Before, people who wash their hands frequently, that could have been a symptom of OCD, so we might have to look at symptoms that we had in our DSM-5, like that's gonna have to change, and change is always good. It's not okay to stay the same if you're not living and growing and developing, well, if you're not changing, growing and developing, you're not living. So let us get down to our arnica gel. So this is what we're going to do. I'm gonna pause right here because I gotta go get my sock.